2, 1.
Hey folks, I'm Steve from Direct Relief, and thank you so much for being here. It's a real treat. And I'm joined here with some friends, some real life friends of mine. But I just want to take a moment to thank you all so much for all of the support. I do work for Direct Relief. I am the web production manager, or excuse me, senior web manager. My title changed recently. And I also helped launch our gaming program back in 2016 at TwitchCon. So I have been a video gamer for the better part of my life. Gaming has really become a big part of my life in the last 4 or 5 years since getting involved with these wonderful folks from Zeldathon and now SideQuest. So thank you all for being here. I will be happy to help with questions if you have any about Direct Relief and our work. I've been with Direct Relief now for about 7 years, just over, and it's been a wonderful organization to work for. And I want you all to know that everyone at Direct Relief, from the CEO down to folks like me, are so grateful for the support and visibility that our organization has received from the gaming community. It has been transformative for us in so many ways, and I want you to know that whether you've been able to donate during this marathon or whether you've just been watching and maybe helping spread the word, whatever you're doing, just by being here, you are helping make a difference. And again, this isn't some pitch or whatever. I just want you to know at Direct Relief, gaming, video gaming, and people like you are very important to us, and we really appreciate the support. Gamers have been amazing, and gaming companies as well. So I just want to get that out there right away. It's been an honor and a privilege to be involved in Direct Relief Gaming, to meet Super MC Gamer, who's become a personal friend of mine, Campy DK, and all the other amazing people that are part of Zeldathon. I just want you to know that it's a real honor and a privilege to be back on another Zeldathon associated stream. And anyways, enough about me. Let me introduce the friends that are with me right now on comms. We have my very good real-life friend, Daclathan. Go ahead and say hi, Daclathan.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, and we also have my good buddy Shogun. He is a fellow Monster Hunter streamer. Shogun15 is his Twitch channel. He's running around there in the background. And in addition to that, oh, and Shogun, please, excuse me, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
And last but not least, we have the wonderful Samira. And she is another Monster Hunter streamer. Sorry, there's a donation sound here. Yeah, Samira, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Hello, everyone.
So these are some of the folks that I routinely play Monster Hunter with. We have been playing together for a good amount of time, and we've all met through the Monster Hunter community, which, as it turns out, is one of the greatest communities that I've ever come across in gaming. So if you've never watched Monster Hunter before, this is Monster Hunter World. We are playing on PC, and we're just going to be doing a variety of relatively casual hunts, just goofing around, laughing, probably getting carded. That's like getting fainted in Pokemon when the monsters take us out. But hopefully we'll pass a few as well. In addition, I have one other special guest I'd like to introduce. This is my real-life son. His name is Charizard for Life. Well, that's his handle. And he will be here providing some midstream entertainment. He is an avid recorder player. And by avid, I mean he likes to make loud noises with the recorder, often when I'm streaming. So why don't you come over here, son, and give us a little sample of your skills. Here we are, folks. Charizard for Life. A little bit more. Yeah. All right, so yes, that's my son. So he'll be able to provide more amazing recorder solos like that one as a donation incentive. We have a few others. They're listed down here below me on the stream. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and jump into a hunt? And if anyone would like to make a donation, go ahead and pick a hunt for us. If you're not a Monster Hunter fan already, Monster Hunter is a cooperative game where you and up to three of your friends go and take on these giant dinosaur dragons, and you attempt to defeat them. You're living in a world where these monsters are the dominant apex predators, and the humans are just sort of living in the shadows on the fringes trying to survive. And they actually hunt the monsters, take the parts from those monsters, and then turn them into pants and other types of accoutrement, including weapons. So yes, basically you hunt giant monsters and turn them into pants. That is Monster Hunter in a nutshell. But it's a great, wonderful game, lots of very tight and cool mechanics, and incredible, beautiful monsters. So guys, why don't we start with, I don't know, maybe one of the most prototypical monsters of the Monster Hunter franchise. And no, it's not Devil Joe, but we will be talking about Devil Joe soon. Why don't we start with Rathalos, if you guys are cool with that?
Sounds great.
Cool. Let's see here. I believe we've got right here. There we go. I'll go to Southwest. Actually, maybe we'll go Ancient. I don't know. We'll have to find him. All right. So yeah, folks, I started playing Monster Hunter. A friend gifted it to me on the PS4 back in early. It was, I guess, the end of 2018, and I became obsessed, like absolutely obsessed with Monster Hunter. It was transformative. I'd never found a game quite like it in my time playing games. I've done a lot of like dad type stuff, like flight simulators and things like that. Just, whatever. But I had dabbled in Dark Souls, and so I was looking for a new game, and my friend gave me a disc for the PlayStation 4 and was like, here, check this out. It's called Monster Hunter. I'm like, oh, I've heard of that. And I just completely fell in love. And since then, I've put thousands of hours into Monster Hunter. I play on the PS4, I play on the PC, and I also play on the Switch and the 3DS. I actually have purchased a 3DS and put a capture card in it so I can play the older Monster Hunter games like Monster Hunter 4U and Monster Hunter 3U. I play both of those games with Samira and with Shogun, and with Daclithan and Shogun and Samira, we also play the Monster Hunter World on PC and PS4. So yeah, I play on all the platforms I possibly can, and really, really love it. It's just a wonderful experience to have with your friends. And it's broad enough that people of all skill levels, so very good players like Shogun and Samira, and players like me can have a good time together. I would not be of the high skill level. All right. Yes, my character's name is Sir Dank Meme. That is correct. All right. Let me just look at chat here. Okay. There's a lot there. Anyways, yeah. Oh, and guys, one other thing I forgot to mention. Every time that our party carts, whether it's me carting or someone else in our party, we're going to keep this squirt bottle thing going. So my son Charizard here is going to squirt me in the face with a squirt bottle every time someone carts. And I promise you, there will be carts.
Oh, yeah.
Mini cards.
Oh, my. All right, folks. Oh, did I forget to restock my items? Oh, great. So this monster, Rathalos, who is conveniently located right here, is one of the sort of prototypical monsters of the Monster Hunter franchise. It is a monster that's been in the game since the very beginning, and it's this awesome, like, giant red dragon. So I'm sneaking up on him here. Oh, look, he's going to take a nap. Guess again. Oh, now he's mad.
He's enraged now.
Yep, excellent.
Angry.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
we got it. Is it gonna get him?
Nope. Oh, yep.
Oh,
Yep, there it is.
Bye, Rathlos. Rathlos got yeeted, folks. It happens. All right, but now it's time to live the YOLO lifestyle. So there's no fall damage in Monster Hunter. So you can just do stuff like that, which is awesome. I'm using a weapon called the Longsword. The one I have is a katana. It's made from one of the in-game monsters, and the longsword is frequently called the weeb stick because
oh my goodness.
oh overgeared players detected. All right, so that was one of the monsters. That was Rathlos, and now we're going to carve. So this is how you get the parts from the monster. To turn them into pants, if you will. All right. So yeah, so this is specifically a katana, and you can do all kinds of cool stuff. All of the weapons in Monster Hunter are ridiculously oversized. There are gimmick weapons that look like all kinds of funny things, but it's just a super cool game. There are 14 different classes of weapons. So each weapon class, longsword, greatsword, dual blades, bow guns, a regular bow, insect glaive, hunting horn, there's just so many of them. They all have a different move set. So it's much like a fighting game in the sense that in a fighting game, if you have different characters that are capable of different things, in Monster Hunter you have different weapons that are capable of different move sets. They have different strengths and weaknesses. And the really awesome thing is, at any time, you just change your equipment and you completely change your character. So right now I'm using a longsword, but if I wanted to be using a greatsword, I could equip my greatsword and I'd have a totally different moveset, totally different set of abilities. And that's the neat thing. So you can pick weapons that will give you a great matchup against the monster you're going to be facing. Or you can try to deal with all of the monsters with the same weapon, which is what I do. I really enjoy the longsword, but some players are quite good. I don't know if anybody was watching a couple days ago. I believe it was it was last night actually, Saturday night. Yeah, my friend Jitsu was streaming. He actually lost an eyebrow for the cause, but he is a fantastic Monster Hunter player as well, and really good. We jokingly refer to him because he is talented with all the weapons. But he's very humble, so he calls himself the 14-weapon blunder. Not the 14-weapon wonder, but the 14-weapon blunder. I am the 1-weapon blunder. But it's all good. Anyways, folks, so yeah, if there are any questions I can answer about Direct Relief, I've been trying to keep track of chat here, but it is coming by awful fast. There are a lot of you here tonight, and we're so grateful for that, and thank you. But again, if you have any questions, Direct Relief is an organization that was founded in 1948 in Santa Barbara, California. And we work now in over 80 countries worldwide, all 50 United States, Puerto Rico. And basically, we deliver medicine and medical supplies to health centers and community clinics that serve poor and underserved communities all over the world. These medicines are provided free of charge. The partners that we work with are fully qualified, vetted, and they are serving the people who are sort of caught in the crossfire of disasters, of persistent medical conditions, all kinds of issues, poverty, war, and so forth. Thank you so much for the donation. But yeah, so anyways, it's been a real pleasure to work for Direct Relief. I originally came from the private sector, and Direct Relief is the first actual nonprofit I've worked for in a full-time capacity like this, and it's been a real joy and honor. My colleagues are tremendously passionate individuals that are extremely dedicated to serving folks that might not have access to medicine and medical supplies otherwise. So anyways, without going into great detail, I just want to say that, again, it's very important work. It's work that we are privileged and honored to do, and it's work that's only possible because of folks like you. We are entirely privately funded. We are nonpartisan. We are not religious or otherwise affiliated. We give to those who need help to the greatest ability that we are able to, regardless of what their political or otherwise positions are. So anyways, yeah, that's a little bit about Direct Relief, and again, I'm very honored and privileged to get to work there and to help assist that effort. All right, well, folks, I don't know if we have any donations to read. I know we've had a few come in, and I believe we have somebody on for donation reading, but I'm not sure if they're available just yet. So we're going to keep going ahead here, and again, thank you all so much for the support, and when I get a chance to catch up with those donations, I will definitely do so. All right. So, folks, what do you think? I'm feeling like it might be cool to try something a little more challenging than that Rathless. What do you guys think?
That was really difficult, though.
It was difficult for the Rathalos.
It was a little unfair for Rathless. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, you guys. Why don't we? What do you think? I'm feeling like we need to do a little bit of monkey business.
Oh boy.
I'm feeling like we need to do a little bit of monkey business. Where the heck is it? Optional? Am I hallucinating? Where did I see this? It's not. No. Oh, it's events. No.
Which one are you looking for?
I'm looking for Furious Rajang.
I think it's an event.
Is it? Throne Taker?
You're in high rank, low rank.
An
That's why that
astute
Rathalos was so
observation. Here we go. All right. Oh yeah, I thought we were in master rank. All right.
Wait, was that a high rank Rathalos?
Yeah, that's why it was just a face roll. Oops. Sorry, guys. Operator error. All right. Don't need the cool drink. And did I eat? I get to talking and I don't remember whether I ate or not. All right, folks. So we saw one of the famous monsters from Monster Hunter, the sort of flagship from the very beginning of the franchise, the Rathalos. And unfortunately, because of operator error, we used a lower rank version of it that was not particularly challenging. This monster we're about to hunt is called Rajang, and this will be a significantly more challenging experience for me at least, and probably the rest of us as well. Furious Rajang is, well, he's a treat. let's just leave it at that. All right. Maeve has graciously offered to read donations for us. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Pretty good. I've got the donations up so I can read them out.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, we got a few backed up, so let's see what we have. So we have Stinus donated 1010. That's where the Titus laugh came from.
Yes,
and
yes.
And it's one of Stinus's favorites. He says, "Hi, Steve."
Hi, Stinus.
Then we had Narvik donated $20.06, saying, I do not know how to pronounce these. Elytrion attempt?
Oh, boy. Folks, if I can just interrupt you, Maeve, just for a moment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Narvik was the person who we were supposed to do this. We were supposed to be co-hosting this. Well, he was actually going to host. I was going to be a guest. But unfortunately, Narvik came down ill and wasn't able to make it. So we had to scramble and pivot and fortunately, my friends were able to jump in. So Narvik, I hope you feel better, friend. And you did so much work in the lead up to this, and I'm so sorry that you've come down sick. But thank you for what you've done and the initiative, the motivation, submitting this. It's super fun, and I hope you feel better soon. And I'm glad you're able to participate by watching. And thank you for the donation. So after this Rajang, we will go and make an Latreon attempt. And then I will definitely be getting spritzed in the face at least once. I can promise.
Well, after you do that first Elytra attempt, you'll have to do another. 'Cause we had 1616 from Murray X Bob, who says,
Okay.
let's see an Elytrion attempt, Steve.
Oh boy.
And then after that one, you'll have to do a third one, because Narvik donated another 26 and said, hi, P.S. Elytrion, have a good hunt. So that's
Oh, boy.
3 Elytrion attempts lined up for you already.
Oh, folks, can we get some F's in the chat, please?
Major F's.
Oops, I'm going the wrong way.
Oh, I fell down.
Oh my gosh. So, Alatreon, I know there are multiple. One of the cool things about Monster Hunter is everyone pronounces the monsters kind of their own way, and we do discuss from time to time the correct way to pronounce the monsters, but there really isn't one, so you just kind of go with whatever feels right to you. If folks have a preferred pronunciation, I'm happy to go with it. It doesn't matter to me. So, folks, this is Furious Rajang, and he is one spicy boy. Oof. So he is a giant golden ape that is very unhappy. And I mean, I can't blame him. We're poking him with sticks. It's not his fault. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, he does that belly flop. That's a classic move. I'm stunned from his power. Oh no, oh no, I see what happened. So over here, these little guys are called Gajalakas, and they shot me with a poison dart that made me, or a sleep dart that made me fall asleep. They're just like little troll spoilers, because this guy's not fun enough, right? So he is an electrified, like, monkey wrestle mania thing, and he's awesome. Oh my god. He's very feisty. He does this like super monkey ball attack. The monsters are so creative and so much fun. Oh god. I'm sorry. This game is just pure fun for me. I'm not good at it at all, but I love it so much. Oh god. Alright.
Alright, during that fight, we got a $16.40 donation from Ilya, who says, hi Steve, big fan of you and a big fan of what Direct Relief does. There's a couple of us wondering if, for a donation goal, you'd be willing to record a bedtime story. Your voice is lovely. I honestly agree. Your voice rivals Shadow Temple's in terms of streamer voice, honestly.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Wow.
You guys. First of all, I want to make it very clear that there is no voice that rivals Shadow Temple's voice. Shadow is such a kind person. I've known him since 2016, I believe, is when I met he and Marissa the first time at Zeldathon. And what an incredible individual. I'm such a fan. I love tuning into his stream, especially when he's playing like a heavy story-based RPG, and just listening to him to do all the different voices. It's truly a pleasure. And what amazing, talented people that...
Oof.
Oh, spritz, please. I need a spritz.
And so it begins.
And so it begins. No, you have to come closer, son. And try not to get the microphone. Try to just get my face.
We want to see that spritz nozzle.
Yeah. Oh god. It's maybe
And
a double spritz.
Ooh. And get to see
Oh no, yeah.
Charizard's-
Another spritz, yes. Oh god.
It might be a third one.
I personally want to see him come back with that recorder. His outfit was so fresh. I don't know if anyone commented on it.
Yeah, it's quite an outfit. Okay, let me just There we go. A little windshield wiper action. All right. All right, so folks, that is what a cart is looked like, and it's called a cart because you're actually put on a cart and taken back to your camp. So it's you don't know. Only the monsters die in Monster Hunter. The hunters just faint, sort of like in Pokemon. Anyways, so let's see here. So yes, I would be. In answer to the question, would I record a bedtime story? I would be very happy to record a bedtime story. And in fact, one of the things that you'll learn about me the more time you spend with me is I tend to be very long-winded. There's that meme out there where, you know, someone asks a question and the answer is like this cup of water that's pouring into a smaller cup and totally overflowing it. That's basically like my modus operandi for everything. It's just a personal flaw I have. And so when I was younger, or excuse me, when my kids were younger, I would start babbling about one subject or another, and they would actually fall asleep. I would drone on so long. So yeah, I would be happy to provide a recording of a story of your choice. My personal favorite story from when I was a kid was this not very well known book called Fly Away at the Air Show. And it was this story about an airplane, a sort of an anthropomorphic airplane that was a young airplane, and his dream was to go to the air show and to be the best airplane at the air show. Anyway, so I would be happy to narrate Fly Away at the Air Show or any other story as a donation goal. Folks, what do you guys think? Would that be like $100 donation? What would be a good goal for that? What could we? Oh God.
Real quick, I wanted to check Steve. Can you hear
Yes.
the donation sounds?
I cannot now hear the donation sounds.
Okay. Yeah, because Rihanna was trying to spook you with the extremely with the spooky Left 4 Dead sound, and you were completely unfazed by it.
Well, okay. Actually, no, I have been hearing them. I don't know if they stopped recently, but I've actually had OBS all up most of the day, and I was sitting there with I had the stream up, but at times I didn't have the stream up, and I'd just be sitting there, and it would be quiet, and then the donation sound would come in, and it would totally freak me out. There are some very weird donation sounds, and I'm on board with that. But yeah, it's
All right. Yeah, we can see if we can figure that one out.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was working earlier, I don't know why.
I think it probably still is.
Okay, maybe turn it up on your end. I don't know. Yeah, definitely want to get in those good sounds. But while we are talking about the good sounds, we had let's see, $5 from Dark, who said, "Can I get a sick recorder cover of the Pokérap?"
Okay.
Oh, damn, that sounds
Now,
awesome.
Dark, the Pokérap is. Oh no, there's a musical part in the middle.
Yeah. So I will see if my son knows the Pokérap. Son, do you know the Pokérap? Okay, well you have an assignment. You need to look it up and learn it on recorder, because there's been a request. Otherwise, we'll have you riff on something inspired by. All right. Dark, my son is looking it up as we speak. And, oh God, I just took that punch to the face.
And then Rihanna was here, donated $15.05, which, because you couldn't hear the sound, I'll just imitate it for you now.
Oh, thank you,
Kinda
Maeve.
like, it's from Left 4 Dead or something. I don't know. Monica loves that sound.
That was really good.
It sounds
Thank you.
awful.
It has spooks. I've seen it on like every single run. It spooks the runners so bad because they're just doing whatever and then just
Yes,
Comes up.
I have heard that one. I have definitely. Oh God.
So Rihanna said, "Hey Steve, just wanted to see if this would spook you. Thanks for all you do with Direct Relief, and here's to a great segment."
So yes, actually, I did hear that. Oh no! Another spritz, please. Oh, folks, I'm gonna be so hydrated. My pores are just gonna be so opened up. Oh my. Okay, here. We're in between hunts, so I'm going to take the opportunity to just sort of do a little window cleaning. Oh, you guys, this is really fun. I hope you're having as much fun as I am.
Oh, definitely.
All right. So, yes, Sammy.
Quick
Please.
bathroom break if you don't mind. Sorry.
No, not at all. Yes, that is a creepy sound. I heard that one.
That's good. Well, Stina's donated $20.08, saying this is also Left 4 Dead, if I recall.
Oh my. Oh my.
I do not. You know, I should bring up the donation bar probably. I can listen to those.
All right. So, folks, it sounds like we have 3 Elatrions back to back that we need to do. So if you thought Furious Rajang was entertaining, just understand, please understand, this monster will be even more so. Oh my. All right. So, Shogun, I believe you and Semi, have you beat Elatrion yet? Oh, did Semi drop off? I'm not sure.
She went AFK really quick.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, have you beat Elatrion? I'm assuming you have multiple times.
I haven't done it solo yet, but I have done it in a group.
Okay. Do you have any pro tips for us? I've done a couple attempts with Narvik in our practice for this stream, and they went poorly.
That's all right. So one thing about this monster is he's got 2 main phases: a ice phase and a fire phase.
Okay.
And whenever he's in whichever element, the opposite element is going to be more effective against him. So
Right.
if he starts in fire, we're going to want ice weapons, and if he starts ice, we're going to want, and the opposite of that. So
Right. Mhm.
we all should have a different quest to be able to post here in the event section.
Okay.
One of them, he starts in ice, and one of them he starts in fire. So we can kind of pick which one we want to go with and
Okay.
gear up appropriately.
Okay. All right.
So if you guys have any fire or ice weapons that you think are good,
Okay.
we can pick which one we're going to be able to gear up better for.
I am bringing my raw/dragon, so
Okay, that's fine.
yeah. So I'll be equally bad for everything.
Perfect. What about you, Daclithan? Do you have any elemental weapons?
Yeah, I do. I have the Barryoth dual blades for
Okay.
ice, and for fire, I have the Teroth fire daggers.
Okay. Which do you think? I guess we can ask Semi which one she.
What's
Hey. Which element would you prefer to do for Elatrion?
That's a tricky thing. See, normally with my friends, I kind of went thunder, because apparently it's like neutral damage.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Well, that's what I was told anyway. So I tried it a couple times, and it didn't work out too badly.
Okay.
Nice.
I think dragon should be neutral as well. Like it should do well throughout the fight. It's not going to do like the best, but it's going to be something you can use throughout the whole fight.
Oh, Narvik is mentioning in chat that we'll need to start with the assign quest, which starts in fire.
Oh, okay, perfect. So
So I'll
I
post
guess-
that up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of taken care of for us.
Right, because I haven't beaten it yet.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you have an ice weapon, I think that's going to be good to use here.
Is he
Okay.
the one that starts out fire?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what Narvik is saying here. All right, are you ready to perform? Just give it a go. Let's not make them wait any longer. Just do the best you can, son. It'll be great. And folks, if there is desire, I'm happy to try to learn a recorder song as well. All right, let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. Come closer. A little closer. Yeah. Oh, it's here. I think you're good. Here. There we go. There we go. Good job. Good job. Awesome. All right. All right, folks. Let's see. So oh, did I eat? Oh, I already ate. Dang it. I was going to eat for Safeguard. Alas. Well, we'll be doing this a few times. Something tells me. So Alatreon or Alatreon, however it's pronounced, and again, Monster Hunter names can be pronounced many ways, and it's really hard to say if any of them are wrong. But this is a new monster that's just come out in about the last month, and it is the first of the infamous black dragons to make an appearance in Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World is the newest iteration of the Monster Hunter franchise, which goes back to 2004 in Japan. And originally it was a game that was only released in Japan, but there were fans of it all over the world. They were so enthusiastic importing copies from Japan, playing in the Japanese versions, that eventually Capcom decided to make translations and sell them worldwide. And Monster Hunter World is really the first game where they have kind of modernized and brought up the engine to a more contemporary standard. And it is we are playing in the Iceborne expansion, which came out last year, I believe, and it has been a ton of fun. Again, it is just a game that is so deep and so broad in terms of what you get into with it, and it's so much fun to play with your friends. I've put in literally well over 1,000 hours between the different versions on PS4 and PC, and then also the older generation games on Switch and 3DS, and I love them all. They all offer something really unique and special. But World has the more modern graphics engine. It has these cutscenes. It's really got a sense of a contemporary game, and still keeps the really tight and cool gameplay from the older games as well. But if you have a Switch, definitely check out Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. It is sort of the compilation of all the classic games into one sort of all-star package. Really worthwhile. And if you have a 3DS, definitely the 3U, 4U, all those games are fantastic. So strongly recommend. All right. Here we are, the Black Dragon. So these were infamous dragons from the older games, and Capcom prevented them from being mentioned in like lore books and other things. They were sort of forbidden, and talking about them openly was taboo to help enhance their mystique. And this is the first one now that's come into Monster Hunter World, and it is quite a challenging fight. I have a feeling I'm going to be spritzed repeatedly.
Pop-Tart Gamer donated $5 saying, I gotta hear another recorder solo.
Another recorder solo.
You didn't specify any songs, so I guess player's choice.
Okay, player's choice. Alright. We will do Monster Hunter plus recorder solo here in just a moment.
So the extended sound.
Yes. Oh dear. Oh yeah, come on in, it's fine. Oh god! Oh god! That sounds like a cover of a song I've heard before.
Yeah, Baby Shark.
Yes, son. We all know it's Baby Shark. Continue, please, please. That's perfect for this fight.
This is not a baby shark. It's a big dragon.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Thank you, child. Oh no, I'm stunned again. Oh gosh. Oh man. The music is also really cool in this fight. It's one of the other things that Monster Hunter does extremely well. Is having great sound design for the monster fights, for the environments, and for the themes. Each monster has its own battle theme, and it's super cool. So this monster changes its elemental type, and it's very challenging as consequence. And he's quick, he flies, he does all the things that are tough, but it feels like a mostly fair fight. Oh god!
Holy cow.
Oh, Daklathan, this is your first exposure, isn't it?
I haven't even watched videos on this guy yet.
So, folks, this is an authentic first pass. Alright, we need to, like, focus on the
great.
head.
Unfortunately, we got some bad positioning here, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't have flinch free on this set. Rip.
Oh no.
oh no! Oh,
Made
watch
a
out!
huge mistake.
Hey, we.
Go.
Destroy the horns. Alright, I'll try.
Oh.
Alright. Oh god.
Oh my.
Oof.
I'm loving the distant baby shark in the background.
Right,
It's just
yeah.
such a good touch to this fight, like barely audible, but there.
Well, he's
Oh,
practicing.
I'm
Oh no, oh no.
Oh no.
okay.
I tried to knock you out of it. I think I missed.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Spritz, please.
I got stunned, sorry.
Oh, there's my Moxie.
Oh god.
Oh, watch out.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh no! I got train wrecked. Oh man. Oh no, I'm stunned. You guys, no! No! Not like this! Not like this. I need another
Oh no!
spritz.
Yeah.
I need 2 spritzes, actually.
Another one. Oh no!
Oh. It's so immersive.
Oh, I totally dodged that.
All right. Oh god.
Oh, get your healing items ready.
Oh, I forgot.
Like, try and top off. Get a max potion or some moss wine jerky ready.
I brought the wrong stuff, you guys.
Oh,
Oh no!
I need another spritz. I brought the wrong
Yep.
item loadout. I'm so dumb. All right. Well, thank you. Oh my. So,
I think that was pretty good for a first attempt.
yeah, I brought the wrong. Yes, Narvik. I brought. Yes, again. I know. I get to talking, and then there's Baby Shark, and then my brain is gone. I'm sorry.
The true difficulty of charity live streaming.
Yes. Trying to read chat, trying to talk to your host, trying to listen for donations, and also play the video game.
Yeah, whenever we're sending in run estimates, we always say, like, add an hour to whatever you can do with nothing going on around you.
Yeah. There we go. Now I have the right set. Cool. All right. Now I'm going to do the thing I should have done before, which is pay with a gourmet voucher and eat a meal and eat specifically. Oh no. Did somebody already... What? I don't understand. Okay, well, we'll eat for Moxie. I'm not sure why I can't eat for Safeguard. Maybe I don't have the ingredients or something. I used to. So this is one of the little cutscenes. Every time before you eat, you have a snack. Oh, hey cow, how's it going? So yeah, this is a snack in Monster Hunter World. Oh my. Yeah, you like that guy loadout? We'll just have to speculate about who that guy might be. I generally like all of the monsters in Monster Hunter. I don't really have any that I just hate, except for one monster. And the monster that I can't stand is also the monster that I created this longsword from. I like the longsword because it's a cool, like, Nodachi or katana or whatever. It's an awesome looking sword. But also it's created from the parts of the monster that I detest. And that monster's name is Shara Ishvalda. It is the sort of the end boss monster of, oops, I need to post the quest, don't I? I'm so sorry. It is the end game monster of the Iceborne expansion that we're playing here. And the first time it took me so many attempts to beat it, and I was so salty about the whole experience. And I had to get this one part from the monster called the tender plate. And the tender plate you could only get by breaking a part on the monster's forehead. And there's this very specific way you've got to do it that has a very high chance of failure unless you do everything precisely right. And not just you yourself, but your entire team has to do everything right. And you have to be focused on getting these tender plates, or as I call them, tendy plates. And so farming these tendy plates was just obnoxious. And once I finally got them, I made this sword, and I use it as sort of a trophy. It's not the best sword. It's not an awful sword. It's not the best, but it's one that I use as revenge. Yeah, exactly. You have to hit the head the whole match. Basically, the monster, if you do damage to other parts of its body besides the head, you won't break the head twice and then break loose this tendy plate. And if you damage other parts of the body besides the head, you may kill Shara before the second time the head breaks. So it's just awful. It's just awful. Yeah, did the desire sensor screw you on the tender plates for a while? Yeah, I mean, I guess it was more just that getting the plates broken was problematic. All right, I skipped the cutscene that time, you guys, because we'll be doing this a bit. Oof. Just casually running past giant columns of fire. No big deal. Oof. Got caught on his foot there. Oh no, guys.
Oh, you got out.
Sometimes you get lucky. Oh! All right.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh my goodness. He sent you flying.
Worth it though. I got my gauge.
Oh, totally worth it.
We just got a $10 donation from a cow for all seasons who says, "You would know about hunting, wouldn't you?"
Oh my. Thank you very much, Cal.
Oof.
Thank you very much, cow. All 4 of you. For everything.
Oh, this is bad. Oh, that's bad.
Oh, we need another spritz, son.
He locked me to the ground and then just breathed fire on me to death.
He seems very upset.
I can't blame him.
Oof.
Oh, watch out.
So don't run up to him when he's doing that. Or latch onto his face. Got it. One spicy boy.
Watch out, get out of there.
I love the icicles from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Oh god. Oh god.
Oh, jeez.
Oof, that was close.
Oh, he's got me pinned.
No.
I'm okay, I'm okay.
Nice. My timing is so off. Oh noes! Oh noes! Oh!
Oh no!
Another spritz. Thank you. Oh man. Fortify. You guys, I was just proccing Fortify. That's all that
There
was
you
about.
go.
I'm just going to come back stronger. I will restock items.
Oh no!
No, no.
Another spritz.
Keep them coming.
Oh my.
It's always the stone, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I tried to dust there at the end, but it was too late.
Oh. Oh my. Yeah. So when I posted a couple days, well, it was maybe a week ago, my first a screenshot of my first attempt where it was me like doing an attack while getting full fire breath right in the face. Someone I posted a picture of it on Twitter, and someone's like, "So have you beat him yet?" I'm like, yeah, about that."
It's a pretty epic screenshot.
Oh my. All right. Well, folks, again, thank you so much for everyone for hanging out and while we play some Monster Hunter. And I did promise carts, and I feel like I'm delivering on that promise. And again, I just want to say, for anyone who's just joined, I do work for Direct Relief, the charity being benefited by SideQuest. And I just want to say again how much everyone at Direct Relief really does appreciate the gaming community, the video game community. Actually, we moved into a new headquarters a couple years ago, and we have actually hosted some back before COVID. We've actually hosted some gaming events like Calathon and a Pokeathon actually at our headquarters in Santa Barbara, California. So there's a lot of enthusiasm for video gaming, and I just want you all to know that it is a huge honor as both a Direct Relief employee and as a gamer to be here right now with you all. So thank you, and I hope you're enjoying watching us cart, and please again spread the word about the stream if you're enjoying it, and there's no need to make a donation. Just you being here and learning about Direct Relief and enjoying the show is everything that we could hope for. If you do want to support us as well, Direct Relief is entirely privately funded. We work in over 80 countries worldwide and in all 50 United States and Puerto Rico. You can learn more about us at directrelief.org. Our blog is updated on a daily basis. We have some very talented journalists working for us on staff. We were able to bring them in. Journalism has been suffering quite a bit, so we've been able to pick up some very talented writers that do a great job of talking about the work of Direct Relief. We also have a number of really cool mapping tools on our website that will show you the way that we are responding to COVID and other issues. We do a lot of emergency response. Of course, this year the big emergency has been COVID-19. We have been sending personal protective equipment, ventilators, and all kinds of other supplies. We only send what our healthcare partners request from us. We don't dump things on them. We send them the medicine and medical supplies they tell us that they need to serve their communities, which are poor and underserved people. And again, in over 80 countries worldwide and in all 50 U.S. states. So yeah, that's basically Direct Relief in a nutshell. And again, we thank you so much for being here. And let me see here. Now I've gone and forgotten. I want to make sure I have my build. Yep, okay. So just double checking. Folks, I want to show off one little thing while I forget to post the quest again. Hanging from my sword is the thing that I am most proud of in this game. This is a pendant. Pendants are a thing that you can get from doing different kinds of quests. And this one, which I will, as soon as I get this posted here, I don't want to keep everybody waiting. This one was given to me because of my assistance of other players in the game. So this is when you are a higher ranked hunter and you help a lower ranked hunter to progress through their quest, when you've done, I believe it's 60 of them, it's either 50 or 60 of those, you are awarded this Hunter Helper pendant. So this is my proudest achievement in Monster Hunter, which for me is the pinnacle of co-op gaming, to be able to just, and most of these people were just random people that I responded to their SOS flare, but I was able to drop in and help them out. And in this game, which is a co-op game, I enjoy that. Now, I play other types of games too, PvP games and so forth, and in those games, I don't necessarily do as much cooperation. But in this game, which is a game entirely about co-op, that for me is my greatest achievement, and what Monster Hunter, it symbolizes what Monster Hunter is about to me.
Guys, I got Provoker. I'm gonna die.
Speaking of co-op and helping other people out, we've got a $5 donation from that Shingo guy who says, Surf Imp, Semara, Shogun, and Daklathen, I believe in you all. Show out Elytrion to fear monster hunters.
Awesome. Thank you, Shingo. Shingo is another friend from the Monster Hunter community. Just a really, really great person and someone I really admire, and is emblematic of the kind of people you meet in Monster Hunter. Just some wonderful, wonderful people. And I don't know if he requested a recorder solo, but I'm pretty sure that a $5 donation deserves one. So
I think so too.
Yeah.
Once again, Charizard's choice.
Yeah, Charizard's choice. What about Spy Hunter? Have you done that one yet? I don't think you have. Yeah, that's what I meant. Oh god. Nice, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I think that should be probably our rally cry for this hunt so far. Mission Impossible.
Yeah. If you guys want them to go on more of these impossible, but not quite impossible Elytrion attempts, a $15 donation or more will get you that. I still don't think we've seen a story time with Steve yet.
Yes.
I would love to hear some of Steve's back in my day stories.
Back in the 90s stories, a specialty of mine. Whether you ask for them or not.
I get to fulfill my role as making everybody in this marathon feel old by saying that I was not even alive in the 90s. So. Well,
and the funny thing is, so like I'm in my mid 40s. I'm a father, teenage boys. And I grew up I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I do remember a world before mobile phones being everywhere, and before the internet was really a thing that everybody had in their home. Back, I listened to 8-track recordings, like,
yeah.
Oh no, another Spritz
I've heard the stories, yeah.
yeah, but I lived it, and
I know.
It was something. Oh, thank you. It was something that I don't want to go back to. I'm not one of these people that there's nothing I want to go back to. I'm not one of these people that dislikes the current world. There are many problems in the world today, but there were even in some ways worse problems, I think. Well, I don't know about worse, but there have always been problems. Yeah, so I don't want to go backwards. I want to go forwards. But it was a different time, and it was a different place in some ways. So happy to tell stories for folks that, it's something that's kind of outside of the experience today in both good and bad ways.
Yes, and as it says, you can pick the subject. So
yes.
You can make them talk about anything in the 90s.
Yes.
Music in the 90s, TV in the 90s, clowns in the 90s, whatever you want.
Yeah, so the way Storytime with Steve works, I just need a prompt, and I will be very happy to riff off of that prompt.
Number 5.
Nice.
That was $55.55
oh
from
my.
Narvik.
Oh boy,
Who
Narvik.
said, I'm heading out to see the doc, but rumors say you haven't met Deviljo.
Yes.
Trying to change that, and without clothes too. So I've been seeing this. And I imagine naked is similar in Breath of the Wild, where you just don't wear any armor or anything that would help you out.
Yes. To clarify, in case anyone was wondering, first of all, thank you, Narvik, so much for that donation, and we will absolutely do a naked Deviljo hunt. But naked, for everyone's benefit, I just want to confirm, doesn't mean that I get naked or anyone on the stream gets naked, because no one wants to see that. I promise.
We abide by the terms of service.
Yes, absolutely. But what this means is we will do a hunt where we do not wear any of the armor that provides us the survival or other types of skills that are needed to really thrive in Monster Hunter. Instead, we will literally go in our underwear, our characters, I mean, will go in their underwear, and we will attempt to fight Deviljo, which is, well, let's just say that Deviljo is my favorite monster. And on my own personal hobby channel, Deviljo is sort of my spirit animal. So we will go and hunt Deviljo with no armor, just our weapons, and we will attempt to conquer him. Which, you know, in some ways it's even more challenging than this monster, because Deviljo can absolutely one-shot us when we don't have our armor. And of course this guy would be one-shotting us if we didn't have armor as well, but Deviljo is a lower ranked monster than this guy. He's not a black dragon, but he's a lot of fun. Anyways, we'll probably do that next, it sounds like. And thanks again, Narvik. That's really awesome.
Yes, and feel better at the doctor.
Yes. Oh no.
Well, I mean, I don't imagine the doctor will cast a spell on you and make you feel better, but do your visit.
Yeah. I need another spritz, please. My poor child.
I like how Nuji in the chat just called it Joe. It's a very good nickname for this monster. Just called it Joe.
Yes. Oh my. Yeah, Deviljo. So, I'm not going to pronounce this name correctly, but in Japanese, Deviljo's name is Iburujo. Oh,
sorry.
Oh, I'm going to stay in the tent. Classic streamer move. Hey, Connor, how's it going?
That's weird.
Oh no.
Just chilling.
We need another spritz.
I guess I didn't do enough damage. I was by the health booster.
Uh-oh.
All right, folks. Well, so that is a very big challenge. That monster. And so now we're going to do a little palate cleanser. You know, we've been getting wrecked by Elatrion, but now we're going to have some fun. So this hunt is for my favorite monster in the series, Deviljo. In Japanese, it's Iburujo, like Evil Joe. And he is a monster that originally came out in Monster Hunter 3. And he is sort of like a massive troll. You'll be hunting some other monster and Deviljo will he'll show up and be like, "What's up, guys? Deal with me." But he's got a real character and a real flavor, I guess is some would say it's pickle flavored, but he's got a real personality, and I find him just tremendously fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this naked Deviljo hunt. This is just a sort of a challenge version of this quest. This is a standard optional quest, but what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. I'm going to keep my weapon. I'm going to take my charm off. Okay. I'm going to take my mantles off. I'm going to come over here, take my crown off, chest, gloves, waist, greaves. All right. And then I'm going to come down here to my layered armor. So layered armor, basically, it lets you look like something different than the armor you're wearing underneath. So I'm going to take all that off. The one exclusion I give myself is I do like to keep my hat. The hat provides no benefit. So now my character is stripped down to his underwear. I have just the, I guess, attack boost and dragon attack that are just in my sword. But yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and go with basically no skills. My defense, when we were fighting the last monster, was over 900. Now my defense is 61. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to get wrecked if I get hit. I am going to go ahead and bring along all of this equipment. You guys, just for you to know, I'm happy to use traps, anything else. It's all good. I am going to eat for Moxie. Why am I not able to eat for Safeguard? I'm not sure. Not quite figuring that out. But anyways, we'll eat for Moxie. That'll help us take a hit.
You mean the hat doesn't give you enough mops?
Yeah, so Moxie, if you have health above a certain limit, you will survive a hit that would otherwise faint you. That's the way it works. Yeah. So on my health bar, there will be these little markers, and that will be, as long as I keep my health above that, I will be okay. But it only works one time. It's a one-time get-out-of-jail-free card. All right. So let me clean off my glasses here. So anyways, Devil Joe is a monster that is an invader. That's literally like the style of monster it is. So you can go on hunts for him, but normally he just shows up unannounced and invades. It's kind of like in Dark Souls when another player would invade your game. But Devil Joe, of course, is not another player. He is at best an NPC. In fact, I think Devil Joe has more personality than many of the NPCs in this game. He may be the most fully realized character, besides possibly the Admiral. Anyways, so yeah, so Devil Joe just has a lot of personality. He's a very angry boy, a very hungry boy. He is driven by this insatiable hunger to consume everything. He's called the food chain dominator. And when he shows up, when a Devil Joe shows up, it destroys the ecosystem. So really, we are trying to bring balance back to the ecosystem by hunting Devil Joe. Monster Hunter logic. Just go with it. So, anyways, yeah, we will prepare for some Devil Joe action. Yes, Basil Juice is another one of these invader monsters. Basil Juice came out, and again, some people pronounce it Basil Goose, but that is another one of the monsters. That is a flying monster. He will fly overhead and drop basically bombs on you like a bomber, and then dive bomb you like a missile and blow you up. So he's very trolly too. In fact, I think Devil Joe and Basil Juice are sort of two sides of the invader coin. Devil Joe is more playful. He'll actually help you with your hunts. Sometimes, well, I don't want to give too much away, but he will help with your hunts. Basil Juice is just like the kind of troll that's a jerk, just there to kind of ruin your day, and doesn't help at all. Mostly just trolls everything. Anyways. Yes, Nergigante invades as well. That's correct, Spicy Hate. All right. So guys, this hunt can go, it goes one of two ways. We either probably clear it, or it's over in 60 seconds or less. It doesn't...
Get the spray bottle ready.
Yeah, son, the spray bottle should be at the ready. No, not yet. Not yet. We haven't carded yet. All right, so I got my Dust of Life here. I'm going to go ahead and eat an Adamant Seed and a Might Seed. All right, folks, here is Devil Joe. He is eating something. I'm not sure what. He got one of these Aptonoths, and he's eating it. But you can probably guess why they call him the Pickle. Oh, yeah, he's angry. All right, I'm going to try to yeet onto his back. Nice. All right, so now he's mad. Madder. Oof. All right.
Oh, there's my Moxie.
Now he's extra angry. Oh no! I got flinched! It killed us both! Oh no!
Double kill.
My turn.
I need 2 spritzes, son. One more? Oh!
Sorry.
There it is.
And the third, please. We can get the forehead. Yeah, perfect. All right, so let's see how long that
How long was
took.
that?
I think it was maybe more like 90 seconds. 2 minutes and 13. Not bad.
Wow,
not
that's
bad.
pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so that, folks, is a naked Devil Joe hunt. You basically, if you eat the adamant seed, it raises your defense a little bit, so that's good. But yeah, so there's a naked pickle hunt. So lots of carts. What if we did another one of those, but we actually used our armor, just so people could see an actual Devil Joe hunt without it being just a disaster?
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's see. All right, so put our gear back on. And for this, I'm actually going to bring the Devil Joe sword, which is right over here. So this is the sword that you make from Devil Joe. And it looks very Devil Joe-esque for sure. Oh, and right here, Semi has, it looks like the light bow gun from Devil Joe as well.
And I'm using dual blades.
Oh,
That
I'm
was
sorry.
dual blades.
Oh,
No, it's
okay. Nice. All right, I will post the quest. All right. So I was mentioning earlier how I did a lot of hunter-helper quests. And this one, actually, for a lot of people, it's an optional quest, but it ends up being not necessarily a wall in the way that Alatreon ever is, or that Alatreon is, but for newer players, they encounter Devil Joe relatively early on in the game, very early on in the game, and he's bigger and faster and hits harder and has different mechanics than a lot of the other monsters, and it just proves to be tough for people. So much so that many people will skip him and kind of continue on in the story and come back to Devil Joe later. And because of that, and because I love Devil Joe so much, I would do these over and over. I've hunted literally hundreds of Devil Joes. Let's see. I don't know. On my PS4 save, I have quite a lot more. But let's just see how many I've got here on PC. Let's see. So yeah, 188. So I really like Devil Joe. And there are people I know who have many, many, many more hours in the game than I do. They're like the top hunter rank 999, players, and they have not hunted this many Devil Joes. It's a little unusual to like Devil Joe this much, as I've learned, but this much I like Devil Joe. Yeah. So, all right. So we will go and make an attempt now with our master rank here, and Devil Joe is a high rank monster, but he has a huge amount of hit points. So even with master rank gear, it's a bit more of a. It's not exactly like the face roll that it is with some of the other high rank monsters with in-game gear. All right, that sounded like a big donation.
Yeah, it was. That was $105.17 from I Like Corn Dogs, who says, I heard a donation of $100 or more can get us a bedtime story. Well, it is $25, but $100 is good too. We won't argue.
Yes.
How about Goodnight Zeldathon? What is it?
Good-
Oh wait, 100 was for the bedtime story. 25 is for the 90s story.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's
So,
right.
all right. So we will need to find a bedtime
Alright, so
story for me to read.
So there is a link included titled Goodnight Zeldathon. Let me just read through it real quick. You're a regular Corn Dogs. I just want to make sure that there's nothing nasty in here.
Yeah, I will be happy to read that as when we get towards the end of the stream here. I'll be very glad to do that. Thank you so much for that big $105 donation. That was awesome.
Yeah, we still got about 40 minutes or so left, and so keep those donations coming. We still have not heard a story time with Steve. I am very eager to hear about Steve's 90s adventures. Oh, is Goodnight Zeldathon Trina's? Okay. I see. Oh, I see Ilya's on the Twitter. So thoroughly endorsed. Oh, someone wrote at the end of it, hello Nate. Okay.
All right, we are going to attempt to cut off the tail here so you all can see the pickle as it is known. So the fun thing about Devil Joe is you will be fighting him, or you'll be fighting something else and he'll show up, but then you'll decide to fight him and he'll just like wander off and be like, yeah, later. But then he gets you to follow him and then he leaps on you like this. So he's a really playful monster. There's all these tempo changes with him. He stays unpredictable. And that, oh look, okay. So here's what Devil Joe does to other monsters. Oh, we've cut his tail off. But he picked up this Kuluyaku here and was using him like a rag doll. Oh, and now he just shoulder barged into him. So this is the Devil Joe, and we have cut the tail off here. Here is the pickle right here, as you can see. Don't mind the raging Devil Joe behind me. So yeah, there is the pickle. Run, Kuluyaku, get out of here. Oop. So if you get a counter off on Devil Joe when he does that sort of charge, you can get him to stagger and sometimes fall down, which is pretty cool. Oop. There we go. By the power of anime! Oh, nap time for Devil Joe.
It's not time. We haven't read the bedtime story yet.
Oh no, it's Devil Joe's taking up. Why don't we capture him so we can we can show what a sweet baby boy he is when he's back at base. All right.
To the chat's question about microphones, double the microphones, double the power. Obviously.
Yeah, so I'm using the microphone on my headset to talk with everybody through Discord, and then I'm using this microphone to talk to all of you. At least I believe that's how it's set up.
Probably.
That is my understanding of the arrangement here.
That makes sense. We can't really hear the recorder doesn't go above the threshold on that microphone, so that would explain why we couldn't hear it.
Ah, okay.
The stream can hear the recorder. We just can't.
Ah, I see. Cool.
We hear the high notes occasionally, so it ends up being this like avant-garde, mostly silent piece.
Nice. All right.
And maybe you want to learn more about microphones. Maybe Steve can tell you stories about microphones in the 90s if you donate $25.
Oh my. So I'm going to run outside here really quick. When you capture a monster, you bring it back to base, and the scientists here. So one of the great joys in the Monster Hunter universe is that the humans are really serious about trying to do science, but they're really, really bad at critical thinking. They're very big fans of the first idea that comes to their head. That's got to be the explanation. But anyways, here we have one of these scientists right here, all right, studying this Devil Joe that I just caught. And here's our sleeping Devil Joe. Look at this beautiful boy or girl. I don't. The genders are not specific for Devil Joe, so I don't know. I think of Devil Joe as a boy, though, so let's just go with that for the moment. So here he is, just napping away peacefully, and we've got all of our scientists here studying this Devil Joe. Well, look at that beautiful little guy. So he looks so peaceful. Look at all those teeth. So the spikes on his body are actually supposed to be teeth. It's kind of like how a shark is constantly growing teeth. So they come out of his mouth and go down his entire body. So yeah, that's Devil Joe. All right, so I have inflicted my Devil Joe passion on all of you enough for now. Oh man. Nice. All right. Yeah, Devil Bro. I definitely think of Devil Joe as Devil Bro. I've had a lot of help from him on other hunts in the past. And I will actively try to get Devil Joe to engage the other monster when there is one. All right. So, folks, let's see. I believe we are caught up. We had the 3 Elatrions. We had the naked Devil Joe hunt. We just did a regular Devil Joe. We've got about 35 minutes left in the stream. I'd probably want to leave. Maeve, about how long do you think that bedtime story is in word count?
Well, I can check the word count.
Okay.
That's easy. Google Docs lets me do that. It is 120 words.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that we won't need a lot.
Yeah, it's a play on Goodnight Moon. If you know that bedtime story. So about as long as that.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Cool. All right. Great. Well, that's wonderful. So we'll leave a little bit of time at the end of stream to do that.
Yeah, we can do that with the last 5 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
Probably even less.
So, why don't we check out the new Frostfang Barioth if we can? I believe I should have it unlocked. Let me go into Master Rank. Is it a new... Is it event? Oh, I think Show might have stepped away. Let's see.
I'm back.
Oh, you're back.
I think it is the event quest, actually.
Okay. Let's see here. Color. Moonlight Howl, Balloon Fight. I don't know if I have it here. Oh, no. Let's see. No, I'm not seeing it under events. So is it in... I'm sorry, chat, does anybody know? Is it an optional? No. Sorry, I know this just came out recently, and I apologize.
I posted it.
Oh,
It
awesome.
helps.
Thank you. It does. Can I join? Oh, the Last White Knight. Interesting. All right. Do you have a recommendation for camp, Semi?
For what, sorry?
Which camp we should go to?
Oh, Central Camp.
Central. Got it. Thank you. All right. Alright, let me just go change my equipment real quick. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, that sounds like a donation.
Yeah, we have $25 from Mweeps26, who says, loving the show. Since you're playing Monster Hunter, tell us about monsters in the 90s.
Oh, monsters in the 90s. Okay, well, we're going to circle in on the 90s, but we need to talk about another monster that is actually not from the 90s. It's originally from the 50s. And it's probably a big part of why I enjoy Deviljho so much. And it's another giant monster. It's a biped like Deviljho. It's green like Deviljho, but it's a little bit larger than Deviljho. It's a little monster that you guys might have heard of named Godzilla. Yes, Stinus, you guessed it. You guessed it.
Little monster.
So when I was a boy in the 1970s, Godzilla had at that point had like over 20 years worth of worldwide enthusiasm. And the thing was, at that point, Godzilla had gone from the original 1954 Gojira film, which was a very kind of sober take on the threat of nuclear warfare between the United States and the Soviet Union, with Japan being caught in the middle. And sort of Godzilla becomes a proxy for man's arrogance and destruction of the natural world, and then that natural world coming back and taking revenge against that sort of human arrogance. So that film was very, it was a giant monster movie, but it was a very straightforward, like, kind of, it had sci-fi and so forth elements, but it was meant as a more serious sort of like, what if this giant monster was real? By the 1970s, Godzilla had become like what in the 90s we called Barney, which was this children's dinosaur, that some of you may remember. It was a purple dinosaur, sang a lot of songs, whatever. But anyways, by the 70s, Godzilla had been transformed into this kid-friendly sort of parody of itself. And the movies in the mid to late 60s and early 70s were very emblematic of that. But anyways, as a young boy, I suffered really badly from asthma. And it turns out I had to have my tonsils removed when I was about 5.5 years old. And anyways, I had at that point gotten this Godzilla toy. It was about this tall. It was made. It was part of the Shogun Warrior line. Shogun, you'll be pleased to know that. Produced by Mattel in this country. And anyways, this was a giant, like about this tall, like 2 feet tall, hard plastic avocado green toy. It had this hand that you could press a button in its elbow and it would shoot off the fist, so you could like knock over things and like be destructive. And it's on the underside of its feet. It had these like Hot Wheels style wheels. It could roll across like a hardwood floor or whatever. And again, just everything in service of maximum destruction. So anyways, this Godzilla was just, I just loved Godzilla. I don't know, I didn't understand why. I was a very young kid. I just was like, this is an awesome, big, stompy monster. Like Godzilla, it's totally rad. And growing up, kids, like my kids grew up watching like Cars and things like that. But I grew up, I had 3 movies. I had, on VHS tape, I had the original Star Wars, A New Hope. It's still the best, in my opinion. And I had the original King Kong from the 1930s in black and white, and I had Godzilla vs. King Kong. These were the 3 movies that we owned that I could watch. So, we're gonna need a spritz, son.
Almost.
Oh man. So anyways, I had this giant. Thank you. I had this giant hard plastic Godzilla, and I had to go get my tonsils taken out. And as I was going in, I was 5 years old. I'm going into a hospital. I was terrified. And the nurses and doctors were really kind to me. They let me keep this Godzilla under my arm as I was put on the bed and like wheeled into the operating room where they were going to take my tonsils out. And they were so kind, they let me just hold on to it while they put the mask on to knock me out for the procedure. And when I woke up, the nurse was so sweet. She had put that Godzilla back under my arm. Now, I was carrying this hard plastic, like rough avocado texture monster around with me, like kids carry a plushie today. And I loved it. So anyways, this is not really a back in the 90s story, other than I've been a fan of Godzilla since that time, since the 70s. But let me loop it into the 90s. So in 1998, this little film came out, called Godzilla. And of course, this is the Matthew Broderick film, which some people may be familiar with. Now, this film is a travesty of Godzilla films. I'm sorry if you enjoy it. I'm just saying, like, relative to the way Godzilla is normally portrayed as this unstoppable, like, force of nature, the Godzilla in 1998 Godzilla is anything but. And this was the first time that an American studio had been allowed to make an actual Godzilla movie. And the Godzilla fandom, the G fans, if you will, were really up in arms, and still are to this day, about this Godzilla. So anyways, yes, Godzilla in the 90s was worse Godzilla, but I love Godzilla, and will always love it. And actually, my children are huge Godzilla fans as well. I guess they come by it naturally. So there you go. There is a story time with Steve talking about monsters in the 90s, the 70s through 90s, and today. And if you're interested in learning more about Godzilla, you know, I would suggest that the movies made in the 2000s are decent. The American ones from 2014 and what was it, 2 years ago, they're not great, but they're not awful. But the really good ones are from like the 50s, like that original 1954 Godzilla is really worthwhile and amazing. So there you go. As promised, way more information than you ever wanted to hear about Godzilla.
I am truly floored by that. Oh my goodness. Learning about the socio-political culture that gave rise to Godzilla.
Oh, there are actually scholarly treatises written about Godzilla films. That is totally a thing.
That is amazing.
That exists in academia.
I literally never heard about that. All I knew is that, like, Jessica Lange was in, like, one of them.
Actually, I think she was in
She was in the original, right?
No, she was in a King Kong film. I don't believe she was in a Godzilla film.
Right.
Yeah, there was like this. Yeah, there was.
I
some...
don't even know anything about Godzilla then.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, it's never too late to learn. Yeah. Oh no, son. He just. I don't even have to tell him now. He knows. This is the get good juice, and I don't think it's working.
No, you gotta. Yeah, if we're gonna talk about 90s. Gotta get Michael's secret stuff if we wanna.
Yes.
Fill it.
Yes.
Fill it up with that.
Oh man.
See, there's a 90s cultural reference I can get behind.
Oh man. So, do we have anybody in chat who? Oh my gosh, Rom Scout. Thank you so much for the raid.
Oh hey. Yeah, thank you, Rob Scout. Welcome to the stream. We're raising money for Direct Relief. We have some goals, some incentives written along the side, so get them in the last 20 minutes of the game that we have.
Yeah, so folks, Rom Scout is a really, really wonderful person, someone I've gotten to know personally, Twitch employee and a huge supporter of charitable gaming, just a big advocate for Twitch as a platform to do good, and has been really hugely influential in helping Direct Relief and other organizations connect with gamers around supporting the work. So Rom Scott, thank you so much for that and for the raid. That's really awesome.
Yes, right. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have time to do. No, we probably have time for maybe one more of the Elatreon or the Devil Joe.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, how long does one of those usually take?
Well, anywhere from, well, I mean, if it's unsuccessful, it can be over very quickly. But yeah, I'd say about 5 to 10 minutes per hunt is probably realistic.
Okay, yeah. So we've got 20 more minutes about.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you get those in quickly, we can definitely include one more. But story times and recorder solos are absolutely welcome for the whole time. In fact, honestly, we were doing our bedtime story at the end. Donate for a recorder solo during the bedtime story. I would honestly. That sounds like something.
Uh-oh.
Oof. Ooh, one angry boy. Or girl.
Oh yes, and Rob Scout will also be playing a game. He'll be doing a Symphony of the Night randomizer tomorrow evening, or tomorrow morning, depending on how you look at it. I think it's tomorrow starting at 1 a.m.? 1:40 a.m.
I think this stream is setting a new record for the number of consecutive carts I've had in my entire Monster Hunter career. But it is entertaining.
It takes the distraction of a charity stream to do something like that.
I'd like to blame that, but I think that may be taking an easy out.
All right. Gotta get that get good juice.
Yes. Alright, well this is my first exposure to Frostfang Barioth, and it's pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. I wonder if there are any surprise visits from other monsters. Sometimes they like to do that with these new monster hunts. There's an Ebony Odogaron, or Odogaron, depending on how you like to pronounce it. Oh yeah, Turf War, here we go. So this is a cool thing that happens in Monster Hunter World. You have these turf wars between the monsters that are very cinematic and really cool. And when Devil Joe does these, he will throw the monster at you and try to hit you with it. And basically use it like a chew toy. Oh, is he limping? I think he's limping. Should we do cap? Yeah. Nice.
Excellent.
Hey, we succeeded on a quest, you guys. It's a minor miracle. We didn't triple cart.
Woohoo! An unsoaked quest. Well, not unsoaked, but
no, we haven't had many unsoaked quests so far.
this bloke is soaked.
Indeed. All right. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, Bob, that's exactly right. Joe will pick him up and walk around for a while like a dog with a stick. Yep. All right, Master Rank 77. I am like Master Rank 145 on PS4, I believe. So just playing through the story part of Monster Hunter is generally considered finishing the tutorial. It takes, depending on how quickly you do it, it can take anywhere from like 80 to 100 hours in Monster Hunter World to play through all of the story content, so the tutorial. And so when you start a playthrough, a new character, you basically commit to that save for the future. Playing on multiple platforms involves restarting because there's no cross saves at all. So I have literally played through this game twice and have put in, I'm around 400 hours on this save and roughly about the same on my PS4 save, actually a little longer on the PS4 save. And then have a few hundred hours on the Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and probably close to 120 or 150 on the Monster Hunter 4 on the 3DS. So I love Monster Hunter quite a lot. There's plenty of people that have more time than me, but I definitely have found it to be one of my absolute favorites.
All right,
folks.
We have a $25 donation from Campy who says, "Sup."
Awesome.
Now, Campy, you are allowed to suggest a subject for Storytime with Steve with that. If you don't have one, he can discuss Sup back in the 90s.
I can work with that. I can absolutely work with that.
I can definitely see where you can go there. You can talk about slang in the 90s.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
probably a fun one.
Well, actually, what I would like to do, let's talk about something So I'm a native Southern Californian, and I don't know how many other Californians we might have out there on the stream, but I was born and raised here in California, and I grew up surfing and skateboarding like many people who grew up in coastal California do. And one thing that has really become popular in the last like 10 to 15 years that did not exist in the 90s was stand-up paddleboarding, or SUPs, okay? So back then, back in the 90s, you had like surfboards, like short surfboards and long surfboards or longboards. You had people who had kayaks that would bring them out in the surf lineup, and you had boogie boards. Boogie boards were a thing that really came out in the 80s.
Yes.
But
we had boogie boards me growing up down at the shore.
Oh yeah, boogie boards. They came out in the like early 80s, and they took the world by storm. And all the surfers hated them. There's a lot of internecine conflict within the surfing world, but the hatred that some surfers have for stand-up paddleboarding is truly amazing. And that is a thing that did not exist in the 90s at all. The idea of, you had kayaks, you had like Venetian, gondola boats that are kind of like SUPs, except they're poled instead of paddled. But yeah, so SUP, there you go, Brooke, Campy DK, there is your SUP. SUPs did not exist in the 90s.
That went in such a different direction than I expected it to, but I love it. I guess we didn't have all this swim drama on the New Jersey shore.
Well, you might be surprised.
There probably would be. Maybe it's just because I wasn't around for it.
Yeah, you might be surprised. There is a lot of drama around.
Being in any niche community, you get a lot of really weird drama. It's so interesting to watch.
I wouldn't know anything about that from the gaming community at all.
No, like a month ago, I have a friend's mom who is a genetics professor at a university nearby, and she studies nematodes, and there was drama on nematode Twitter.
Oh my.
Like a month ago, and it was
absolutely
insane to try to dig through. So funny.
Wow.
So we had another $25 donation from Rom Scout, who says, "Hello, fellow Californian here, and I want to hear you talk about Kaiju Big Battle."
Kaiju Big Battle?
Yes.
I don't know. Like, is this a game? Rom Scout, you're gonna need to tell me more. I don't know Kaiju Big Battle. I feel ashamed to admit it. I know what kaiju are, of course, and I have some ideas about Big Battle, but I don't know this. You've caught me off guard.
He could work SUP into California surfer drama, but Kaiju Big Battle, he's got nothing.
Kaiju Big Battle sounds like a game or something that exists in the real world as a thing. But what I can talk about is, is a performance by New York City-based performance entertainment troupe created by Rand Borden. The performances are parodies of both professional wrestling and... Oh, I have heard of this. Yes. No, I do. This is ringing a bell now. I know of it through the G fandom. Yes, Kaiju Big Battle. Gosh, that's right. That would have been amazing. Okay, I have a story. It's related to wrestling. It's not related to kaiju, unfortunately. But so back when I was young, I was involved in a church group that took us to see what at the time was WWF wrestling. Okay, now I've never been to another event since then. I have only this one experience, but I remember, I think we went to the LA Forum, and watching the wrestlers come out in person was amazing. Just amazing. And this was, I want to say it was I must have been in like junior high or something like that. Yeah, it must have been. So they come out, and it's this amazing, like, this is the height of like the Hulk Hogan hype, and just like the absolute meteoric rise of these professional wrestlers as massive celebrities. And I mean, they still are today, but have to remember, you have to contextualize it. This is the 80s. Like, MTV didn't exist until the early 80s, you know? Like, things that we took for granted in the 90s and beyond just were coming to the fore, like the space shuttle, and like, it was such a crazy time. So anyways, yeah, seeing professional wrestling in person, I would recommend that to anybody. It's quite an experience. Speaking of wrestling, here is Monster Hunter's version of a WWE wrestler. He is the undisputed belly flop champ. And I think this is, if Kaiju Big Battle was a thing in Monster Hunter, Rajang would be the absolute champ of the... Oh no, don't fall, Rajang. Don't fall. Ah, he's fine. Look at this guy. He's got like bull horns, but he's also a gorilla. This is absolutely like... Oh god, I just got super monkey balled.
Alright, we've got about 10 more minutes left.
All right.
Probably don't have time to do another one of the hunts, but
Yeah.
we can probably get in at one or two more 90s stories. So send in your donations, $25 or $5 will get you the recorder.
The recorder solo from my son, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he's been
Please.
hanging out with me, staying up late.
Yeah, I
He was
about to
so
say,
excited,
It's like,
yeah.
It's almost 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, he's still on his summer holiday break, so we're
Nice.
not imperiling his education. And he's basically my own little devil Joe. He loves rating my streams and like doing the recorder thing, and people have become such fans of it. And who can blame them? I mean, that's an amazing recorder.
Absolutely. And I'm still in favor of someone donating that $5 for a recorder during the bedtime story we have at the end.
Yeah.
Give it some atmosphere. So get those in. You'll only be able to hear me say your donations for 10 more minutes.
And Maeve, thank you so much for hanging out with us and reading donations. I really appreciate
Yeah, no
that.
problem at all. Yeah, I didn't realize that it's kind of a last minute thing with everything that happened with Narvik, and so
Yep.
I'm definitely happy to help out. Stay
Yeah.
up a little bit past what my tech shift was going to be.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you've been doing a wonderful job. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We're sorry, but we're gonna have some. We've still got good segments up next. What do we have? We've got Paper Mario next. That should.
Oh, that's awesome. Uh-oh, he's extra angry. He goes from angry to angrier to angriest.
Mad.
Oof. Oof. All right. Oh, he knocked him down.
Nice.
Ooh. Oh, those Gajalakas got me again. They're such trolls. I love that they're just these like, so they're throwing grenades in there and blowing us out of there just to be spoilers.
That's
There-
so funny.
there
That
are-
just like random other monsters show up during here.
Right, these are little like feral creatures that just troll you basically. But you can befriend them and they will help you to a degree. Oh god.
Yeah, it all costs money. If you want to know why we're here, we are the Zeldathon Team. Normally we do all Zelda marathons, but this is Side Quest presented by the Zeldathon Team with lots of other games, and we are supporting Direct Relief, who Steve is an employee of. And yeah, you want to tell us a little bit about Direct Relief?
Oh yeah, I would love to. Oof, since I just got fan. I'm gonna need another spritz, please. So yeah,
Get
Direct
Chris
Relief.
and then explain Direct Relief.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, so Direct Relief is a humanitarian medical assistance organization. We deliver medicines and medical supplies for free to health centers and community clinics that serve poor and underserved populations. We work in over 80 countries worldwide and in all 50 U.S. states. We were founded in 1948 in Santa Barbara, California. We're still based here. We have our warehouse where we do all of our shipping, and where until recently we were all going in every day. Now all of the staff who are not directly involved in the operations part of actually delivering, like creating the shipments and packing them up for delivery, are working remote, as many people are these days. And it's a bummer because the people at Direct Relief are really some incredible individuals, very passionate about improving the health and lives of people around the world. The thing is, as many folks probably know, health, if you don't have good health, the rest of your life becomes very, very difficult. And for folks that are already dealing with poverty or civil unrest or a natural disaster or whatever the case may be, health becomes an even bigger issue. Many times, for example, if people have to evacuate due to a hurricane or an earthquake or whatever, they may not have their medications that they left at home. Their home might have been destroyed or made inaccessible. So that's where these community healthcare organizations come into play. And many of them are themselves nonprofits. They're providing their services for free to the community, to people in need. And those clinics themselves get their medications from us. Again, for free. Those medications and supplies are donated to us by the pharmaceutical companies who we partner with. I want to make it clear that these are all completely legit, like normal, fully like up to date and completely viable medications. It's not like expired stuff or anything like that. Direct Relief does not handle that kind of stuff. It's just the same kind of medication you might buy. It's just donated to us for this express purpose of getting it to people who are in need. So anyways, that is essentially what Direct Relief does. We try to help support these groups that are making a difference in the lives of people, helping them be healthy so they can raise their families, be successful in their careers, and hopefully either get through the short-term issues related to a natural disaster or the longer-term issues related to the types of social conditions that may be prevalent in their community. So that is the work of Direct Relief. Basically, there is a market for these products, but the consumers in that market do not have the money to pay for them themselves. And that is where these clinics come in, and that is where Direct Relief comes in. Medicine is tremendously hard to deliver. You have to be certified and licensed. You have to have the specific types of warehouse, storage, handling, etc. And Direct Relief goes to that trouble to deal with all of that to the same degree that an actual pharmaceutical distributor would. We are licensed in all 50 U.S. states to distribute medication. We are the only nonprofit in the country that is able to do that. So anyways, that's Direct Relief in a nutshell. Sorry, that was a little bit longer-winded than I wanted it to be, but I hope it helps folks who were interested in hearing a little bit more about it to get a sense of it.
That's all right. It's always a pleasure to hear your passion for Direct Relief as someone who works.
I have a passion for Direct Relief equivalent to my passion for Godzilla and Devil Joe, maybe combined. I am so grateful to get to work with the organization that I do and to do the work that we do. It means a lot to me to be able to help people and know that even just being the web guy, it helps them improve their lives, hopefully, or at least make them less bad with regards to their healthcare access.
Yes, and we've got, almost 3 more days of Direct Relief raising, so keep tuning in, keep donating. We've got lots and lots planned. Yeah. But for now, we are coming up on the end of our Monster Hunter segment.
Let's see. Oh yeah, we are. Okay, guys. So Steve, I just DM'd you our bedtime story to wish everybody a good night at this late hour. All right. Well, why don't we come out here and look at this beautiful view, and we will read this bedtime story. Let me pull this up over here. Okay. Let me bring this over to this screen. All right, folks. So here we are. I am going to, let's see, relax. There we go. All right, so here we are. It's all right, just getting it queued up. Oh no, communication error occurred. No. All right.
Oh no.
So, in the Celestial Ballroom, there was a couch and a screen and a marathon with a mysterious Kool-Aid brew. And there were keys and a list for sheets and 2 swords of foam and a sexy saxophone. And the lighted Triforce and the goal wheel, of course. And some hats and some fog and some franker-faced dog. And an executive director asleep like a log. Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, brew. Good night, couch. Good night, screen. Good night, keys. Good night, sheets. Good night, swords of foam. Good night, saxophone. Good night, Triforce. Good night, wheel, of course. Good night, hats. Good night, fog. Good night, train. Good night, dog. Good night, MC. Sleep didn't last long. Good night, donors. Good night, charity. Good night, hype everywhere. Thank you all so much for being here. And Shogun, Samira, Daklethan, thank you so much for the late night. I know it was a big ask on extremely short notice, but I want you to know it really means a lot to me that you were able to participate here. Big thanks to Narvik for organizing all of this. It was really wonderful. And to all of you, Maeve on donations, and all of you watching, thank you so much for your support, for your time, for your attention, for caring enough about these important issues in the world to just show up and to participate in chat with your donations, with spreading the word. It really means so much to all of us at Direct Relief, and I want you to know we are very grateful, and your support is going to help other people have a better life and better access to medical care, which is something that is very precious, and it's something that I know we're all thinking about right now quite a lot due to COVID-19. So thank you again for your time, and I hope the rest of the marathon is a huge success. And again, just have a great evening, morning, night, whatever it may be where you are. Goodbye.
Hello, and again, welcome to SideQuest presented by the Zeldathon Team, a subsidiary of Aperture Science, a 432 million millisecond charity marathon. The test associates will play various games to observe the effects on generosity over an extended time period. If at any point during the test a test subject feels a strong sense of generosity, they are suggested to direct their web browser to donate.zeldathon.net. 100% of generosity directed at this link go to Direct Relief, a charity organization providing medical supplies and aid to over 80 countries and all 50 states, currently providing urgent support during the COVID-19 pandemic. Additional generosity can be exchanged for physical goods by going to zeldathon.net/store to purchase a SideQuest art chest fabric-based displayer or t-shirt. Proceeds from sales are sent to Direct Relief. Updates on test progress can be found at Zeldathons and #SideQuest on Twitter, Zeldathon on Instagram, and a record of previous tests can be found at Zeldathon on YouTube. While you wait for the next stage of the test to begin, obtain some electrolytes and fluids, do stretches to remain in peak generous form,